Hi, welcome to Test Prep Training. Today's video is about selecting the right Azure certification. Microsoft offers a wide variety of Azure certifications exams and role-based certifications to help you keep pace in your career with today's business requirements. In this video, you will learn how you choose the right Microsoft Azure certification, exam, and learning path. New Microsoft Azure Certifications Path. The new role-based Azure certifications establish a learning path from the fundamental level to the associate level, and then to the expert level. There are 5 Microsoft Azure certifications path for 5 different roles particularly based on Azure. The roles are: first, Azure Fundamentals. Second, Azure Administrator Associate. Third, Azure Developer Associate. Fourth, Azure Solutions Architect Expert. Fifth, Azure DevOps Engineer Expert. Sixth, Azure Security Engineer Associate. 7th, Azure Data Engineer Associate. 8th, Azure AI Engineer Associate. 9th, Azure Data Scientist Associate. Before you see the whole video further, here is the quick rundown of how you can pick the right Azure exam and certification path for you. 1. Select the Azure solution area you want to achieve certification. This can be Azure Applications and Infrastructure, or Azure Data and AI. 2. Define if you want to get started with fundamentals, or directly with the role-based certifications. The fundamental exams are optional to the certification process. However, by taking the fundamentals exam, you can make sure that you have the right base knowledge for the role-based exams. It also helps you if this is the first Microsoft certification exam you are taking. It makes you familiar with the testing process, and the different types of questions. 3. Select the role you want to achieve the certification. Depending on the solution area and type, you have different role-based certifications available. 4. Read and verify the requirements like skills and exams for the specific certification. 5. Select the first exam with which you want to start. 6. Start learning and schedule the exam online, or in a local center. Microsoft Azure Role-Based Certification. The new Microsoft Azure exams and certifications are role-based. That means you have different exams and certification paths, depending on which role you are working. Earn a role-based certification that shows you are keeping pace with today's technical roles and requirements. The certifications are now more focused on aligning knowledge according to job roles. With every certification, there is a learning path. You start from the fundamental level, and then move on to the associate level, and then finally to the expert level. The different roles associated with the different Microsoft Azure certifications. First, Azure Fundamentals. Second, Azure Administrator Associate. Third, Azure AI Engineer Associate. Fourth, Azure Data Engineer Associate. Fifth, Azure Developer Associate. Sixth, Azure Solution Architect Expert. 7th, Azure DevOps Engineer Expert. Azure Solution Areas. Picking the right solution area is your essential starting point. There are 2 main solution areas of Azure certification and exams. First, Azure Apps and Infra, that is, Applications and Infrastructure. Second, Azure Data and AI, that is, Data and Artificial Intelligence. In both solution areas, you will find different role-based certifications available. Microsoft Azure certification types. First, Fundamental Certification. 1. It helps build skills towards industry job roles. 2. This type of certification caters to a broad audience across market segments. 3. Fundamental Certification is an entry-level certification where no experience is required. 4. It includes mix of concepts and applied learning for Microsoft technologies. Second, Role-Based Certification. 1. It is industry job role-based certification. 2. Role-based certification is for people interested in transitioning to, or already in specified job role. 3. It includes multiple level of expertise, which includes associate and expert level. 4. Role-based certification helps in learning technical knowledge to design, implement, and manage Microsoft solutions. 5. These certifications gives emphasis on applied learning. As you might have seen, the terms MCSA, Microsoft Certified Solution Associate, MCSE, Microsoft Certified Solutions Expert, or formerly also known as Microsoft Certified Systems Engineer, and MCSD, Microsoft Certified Solutions Developer, are going away. The new concept of certification is evolving our training and certifications away from product focus and more towards role-based focused. Azure Applications and Infrastructure Certifications. Azure Apps and Infra certifications are mainly designed for IT professionals and developers. There are the following role-based certifications are available in Apps and Infra. In Fundamentals roles first comes Microsoft Certified Azure Fundamentals. With a focus on cloud concepts, core Azure services, Azure pricing, and support, and the fundamentals of cloud security, privacy, compliance, and trust. It builds the foundation of the Azure exams and requires the base knowledge about Microsoft Azure, and cloud computing in general. Associate and Expert roles. First, Microsoft Certified Azure Administrator Associate has a focus on implementing, monitor, and maintaining Microsoft Azure solutions, including primary services related to computer, storage, network, and security. It covers topics infrastructure as a service, IaaS, and others, which makes sure you have the technical Azure foundation. This is the certification I recommend to most people to get started with after they have done the Azure fundamentals. It is not just for administrators, it helps everyone to understand different base Azure services. Second, Microsoft Certified Azure Developer Associate, main focus on designing, building, testing, and maintaining cloud solutions, such as applications and services, partnering with cloud solution architects, cloud DBAs, cloud administrators, and clients to implement these solutions. With this focus, the certification is great for developers to understand different Azure services. Third, Microsoft Certified Azure Security Engineer Associate, focuses on implementing security controls and threat protection, managing identity and access, and protecting data, applications, and networks in cloud and hybrid environments as part of the end-to-end infrastructure. This certification goes through different security configuration, architectures, and services across Azure. Fourth, Microsoft Certified Azure DevOps Engineer Expert. Azure DevOps professionals combine people, process, and technologies to continuously deliver valuable products and services that meet end-user needs and business objectives. This exam not only focuses on Azure DevOps, but also on different general DevOps practices, such as source control, continuous integration and continuous delivery, C/CD. Fifth, Microsoft Certified Azure Solutions Architect Expert. The Azure Solution Architect exam focuses on expertise in computer, network, storage, and security so that they can design solutions that run on Azure. This exam has a strong emphasis on understanding different Azure services and architecting solutions on Azure. This means you have to take the following exams mentioned in the table. Azure Data and AI certifications and exams. In Data and AI, you have the following Azure Data and AI role-based certifications are available. Under Fundamental comes Microsoft Certified Azure Fundamentals. With a focus on cloud concepts, core Azure services, Azure pricing, and support, and the fundamentals of cloud security, privacy, compliance, and trust. It builds the foundation of the Azure exams, and requires the base knowledge about Microsoft Azure, and cloud computing in general. Under Associate and Expert roles. First, Microsoft Certified Azure Data Scientist Associate. With the main focus on applying Azure's machine learning techniques to train, evaluate, and deploy models that solve business problems. Second, Microsoft Certified Azure Data Engineer Associate. Focuses on designing and implementing the management, monitoring, security, and privacy of data using the full stack of Azure data services to satisfy business needs. Third, Microsoft Certified Azure AI Engineer Associate. Includes a strong focus on using cognitive services, machine learning, and knowledge mining to architect and implement Microsoft AI solutions involving natural language processing, speech, computer vision, bots, and agents. Fourth, Microsoft Certified Azure Solutions Architect Expert. The Azure Solution Architect exam focuses on expertise in computer, network, storage, and security so that they can design solutions that run on Azure. This exam has a strong emphasis on understanding different Azure services and architecting solutions on Azure. This means you have to take the following exams mentioned in the table. Microsoft exams and certifications are not just here to get a better job and boost your career. These exams are also there to verify your skills and learn more about specific topics. This also applies to the Azure certifications. Taking an exam and preparing for an Azure certification give you a defined set of technologies and topics you should learn, depending on the exam you take. Whenever you take a Microsoft exam, you learn a lot, not just while preparing for the exam, or about the topics you are looking for, but also many things around the exam. You can call it the 4 stages of Microsoft exam learning, which will boost your knowledge. First, preparing and learning of the Microsoft exam topics. These are the topics and technologies which are validated in the exam, and AI focus on learning. These are mostly the topics listed on the skills measured page of the exam. Second, learning about related topics. While you are learning about the exam topics, you will also learn a lot about related technologies and concepts, which are not directly asked in the exam. However, these can be very important in your job, or even another exam. For example, if you learn about Azure Storage or databases, at one point, you will also learn about encryption and Azure Key Vault. This can be super helpful in the future, and it is a low-hanging fruit since you are just discovering it while focusing on something else. Third, during the exam. To me, it happens often, and I am always surprised by how much I learn even while taking a Microsoft exam. Depending on the questions and answers, I learn about new scenarios, or how different services can work together. I agree, this is not the ideal time to learn a topic you should already know, but it is a subtle side effect. Fourth, after the exam. Usually, there are always questions and topics you are not 100% sure about or even completely unaware of. It can help you to check out and read about these topics after the exam. Even when you pass the exam, it can improve your knowledge if you follow up on the topics you are not sure about. Especially if you consider that the questions which are asked during an exam are also most important for you to understand the topics. Conclusion. As you can see, there are many different certifications and exams available depending on your job role. If you are new to Azure, we recommend that you start with the optional Azure Fundamentals exam. If you are confident with cloud computing and Azure, you can directly go to the role-based associate and expert exams. For more such videos, subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon for future updates. Also visit our website